Sunday, May the 8th, 2022, and today is the 1 year anniversary of me graduating from the Impact Quest training in Salt Lake City, Utah, and the 8 month or so, it's been a little over 8 months since I graduated from the Impact Summit training in Salt Lake City. And in today's video, I want to talk about what those trainings are as I see them and talk about my growth experiences since leaving those trainings. So let's get right into it. So how I interpret these trainings is they are personal development trainings that where the objective is to assist the people who attend the trainings in overcoming their limiting beliefs and becoming all that they can be, relearning, reestablishing a relationship with yourself, relearning who you really are, and being all that you can be for yourself and for the world, for the people in your life and for the world. And I want to talk about three or so of the things that I have noticed in myself that are significant that have experienced since leaving the trainings. The first being, after I left the Quest training, I have really overcome most of my limiting beliefs that I've had in my life, and that is most apparent in my professional life. As you guys know, if you've been following my channel, I work with Ignite Recruitment. I would probably not have my Ignite Recruitment job. I probably would have not even applied for my Ignite Recruitment job if I didn't go to these trainings. The Ignite job is commission only. The earning potential is really, really high. There's a lot of freedom. You're basically working for yourself, but there's a lot of risk associated with it because it's commission only, and like building any business, it might take a long time and an unknown amount of time to start making any money, let alone real money. I would probably not have taken that risk before the trainings because that just wasn't me to take that kind of risk. But after attending the trainings, I was able to have the confidence in myself and my abilities and see the potential in that opportunity with Ignite, because it's really the first job I ever had where all of my natural gifts and talents were being utilized to their fullest potential. And I went for it, got the job, and if you've been following my channel, you know that that is going very well. And that also translates, is transferred over to my life insurance, getting my life insurance and fixed annuities license with Pennsylvania. And I'm still trying to get the ball rolling with some of that stuff with contracting and stuff. But that's another thing that I may not have done in the past because it's a very independent business venture, high risk, no paycheck every 2 weeks. You're all on your own. You're totally independent. You're making your own way, carving your own path. But after attending these trainings, and I had actually attended both trainings before I found the annuity and life insurance opportunity, it was a no-brainer. After how things started to go with Ignite, starting in November, I took that more seriously, as you know from my channel, and it was a no-brainer to add something else where I could sort of duplicate that model and just keep taking things on and being all that I can be professionally. The second thing that I have noticed and experienced since leaving the trainings happened more so after the summit training, which I attended back in August. And I got to give you guys a little bit of a backstory first, and that is that previously in my life, my entire life, I based my entire self-worth almost exclusively on my relationships with other people, more specifically how I felt other people viewed me, and that made it difficult for me to be my true self all the time. And when I was my true self and felt like maybe I did something wrong by being myself, or said something or did something a certain way, I would be very apologetic, and it just wasn't working. It just wasn't working, and I was just so afraid of making people angry or upset because I had gotten so comfortable with my personal relationships that anything I did that I felt jeopardized that would just ruin my whole day. Like, what would make or break me in a day is how this person felt about me, or this person or that person, or how I felt this person felt about me. And it just, as I said, it just wasn't working for me. And after the summit training, I relearned who I am, a loving, worthy, compassionate, inspirational man of light, and learned my contribution that I have to bring to society and to myself. And by relearning to love myself. I never hated myself. I never disliked myself. I've always pretty much generally liked myself, but I can't say I've ever really loved myself. But after the summit training in August and after applying those lessons and living in the current moment and making the most of those moments and working on myself and through myself and manifesting these things in my life to be all that I can be for myself so that I can be in being more for myself, I can be more for others. And in doing all of that and going through that process, I have reclaimed my power in loving myself from those people and have found that I am enough. And it was in early March of this year, once things really started rolling on all cylinders in my life, that I had that epiphany. It really came to me. And ever since early March, I have had an overwhelming amount of peace and happiness, knowing that I am enough for me and I don't need anybody else to feel a certain way about me, that I am enough, that I am enough. Everybody that's been important to me and always has been important to me is still extremely important to me, and I love my friends and family dearly, but I don't allow them to have that power anymore because I have that power to be happy and peaceful because I know who I am. And I kind of hinted there in that last point about living in the current moment. That's also something that I've started doing. I used to be someone who was always living in the past. I struggle with the future sometimes because having RP, a progressive condition that isn't curable, it's difficult to not fear the future a little bit. However, I have done I've done an amazing job at not living in the past and living in the future, looking forward, or living in the present, looking forward into the future, planning for the future accordingly as I feel it would work, works for me, being someone with my diagnosis, and taking things one day at a time while, like I said, being conscious of the future and planning accordingly. I'd like to end this video by thanking several people. First, I'd like to thank my angel Carly, who told me about the trainings. Carly, thank you so, so much. You're one of the best friends I've ever had, and I'm eternally grateful for these trainings. Thank you for seeing in me what I now see in myself. You're incredible. I love you with everything. Thank you so much. I also want to thank Christy, Allie, Maddie, Cheyenne. I want to thank you guys too for walking this journey with me and assisting me through this process and being there for me. I love you all very, very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's it for the video today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions about these trainings, I will answer any questions that I'm able to answer. And I will see you all in the next video. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.